Hello there. This is Strategic Change Guide podcast, and it's Motivational Monday by Jim and Lucy. We found something interesting for you today. Just think about it. Do not be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. That's the quote by John Rokefeller. Just think back, look back 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. And think how often you settled down for something you didn't believe was right for you, or enough for you, or good enough for you. How often?
Yes, hi, this is Jim, and I'm glad to be here with my wife, Lucy. But she's absolutely correct, because how often do we settle for the good instead of the great? Now, just think about it for just a moment. Jim Collins wrote a masterful book several years ago called Good to Great. And in the book, he gave some great examples about how we settle for things, even in business or government and so on. We settle for these things for just good enough, for just acceptable. When I was in the Navy, sometimes people would laugh and they would say good enough for government work. They were jesting at the time. We all settle into this sort of a fatigue, this routine where we think that this is just going to be acceptable. And one of our favorite movies is Billions, that we watch together on occasion each week. And in one episode, Axe, who's the main protagonist, if you will, of the story, happens to speak to a guy who had lost his fortune, primarily because he didn't do his own due diligence as he was supposed to. In this case, he had resorted now to buying several hot dog carts to place them in strategic places throughout the city to try to make some money. Albeit he was never going to make the millions that he once had. But in this case, he wanted to bargain with Axe for some information and hopefully be able to get something in return. Axe, who was a billionaire, asked him what did he want. He said, all I want now is just to be able to have a hot dog stand on this particular corner. Axe gives him a small amount of money, so he could go in and put this hot dog stand there. And then when he takes the money and he's grateful, Axe says, next time, think bigger. So just think about that. So what the man did is settle for good instead of something great, something that seems like it was out of reach, that was going to make him stretch. And that's what we want in our lives. We don't want something that's common. We don't want anything that's ordinary. And this, don't misunderstand, there's nothing wrong with those things. But if you're going to bake a pie, why not bake an extraordinary pie? Why not, if you're going to be a husband, be an extraordinary husband to your wife and a father to your children. You're going to be an employee. Don't be a good enough employee just waiting until you retire. Be somebody who's acceptable, who wants to be the very best there is, the very best there ever was.
So just look around right now and think back months, 6 months, and a year, and years ago, and look at yourself now. What makes you happy, and what exactly you have doubts about? What is it that have this tickle inside you to make you feel that I wish to improve something here or something there? What is that? Where did you settle, and why did you do this? And the most important, how can you change it? Because you easily can change it.
Yes, one of the quickest ways you can see this right now is taking a good look at your physical body right now. The way you're sitting, the way you're standing, and look at the shape that you're in now compared to the shape you might have been in 10 or 15 years ago. What happened? Did 1 pound a month develop on your body without you even noticing? And just think about that, 1 pound a month. Or maybe it was only just barely several ounces in a given month. So much that when you got on the scale, you didn't even bother to notice it. And then after 12 months, guess how much those several ounces amounted to? Before you knew it, you were 12 pounds overweight. And all of a sudden you look around one day and wonder, how did this happen? It's because we settle into a routine. We tell ourselves we've gotten too old. This is good enough. People expect me to be like this. When actually all you have to do is simply raise your standard, set the bar higher, and reach up for it. So don't settle for good. Don't settle for ordinary. Decide you want to get great.
You can get great. And now when you analyze what you want to change and what you want to improve, just make a note of it, and before you do next step, or even before you start acting and changing this, try the power exercise that often used for public speaking prior to going on stage. Just raise your hands and stand like this for a few minutes, like you collect innovations already. Just feel it. Feel this power. Just try it out. That helps a bit. And remember, you can change it, and you are the owner of your life. No matter what circumstances are, you can beat it and you can make it.
Great. We'd love to hear your feedback on this podcast. If you have any questions, any further suggestions, or a topic you're interested in, please let us know. And if you want some additional help for coaching, contact Lucy. She has some great programs available, and she has a huge list, but her time is at a premium. It's not always available, so contact her as soon as you can.
We'll see you next Monday, and make sure you are checking our priority offers and VIP offers, so you will get something valuable all the time. Stay tuned.